Thank you all for joining us here as we celebrate the marriage of Catherine Emilius Horst and Thomas Robert Coady. These two have come a long way to get where they are, and they have chosen to be together each step of that way. Today they are sharing this ceremony with all of us as an affirmation of their love and friendship as they become a married couple. Let it be said that Tommy and Katie were brought here by a force stronger than suns, which is will. Theirs was not a random course, though chance strengthened it. They were not always sure of the way, and some of their steps have been slow, but this next step spans worlds. Time will not stop for the strongest, and though we must go where it takes us, without companions chosen by the will and the heart, the journey would be empty, and there would be nothing to measure our victories by. Let us hold in our hearts all those near and far who love and are loved by Katie and Tom. We are grateful for their parents, who have raised them and brought them to maturity, for their grandparents, who have shared their life's wisdom, for the experiences of life that have brought them together, and for their sisters and brothers, friends, and extended families who walk with them on their journey. Let us hold in our hearts today especially the memory of grandparents, Josephine and Samuel Horst, Richard Emilius, Robert Coady. Also, grandmother Molly Emilius could not attend today's celebration, but she is present with us in love and affection. Friends and family, you have an important place in Katie and Tommy's lives. You sustain them in the past with your love and support. Each person here has helped Katie and Tommy grow to become the people they are today. So I ask you to remain steadfast in your friendship, in your love, and your support of Katie and Tom's times of challenge and loss, and to be generous in your joy in times of their success and happiness. David.
Hello, I'm David Horst. I'm the father of the bride. Let us be together in a few moments of reflection and quietude. We begin with the words of Carl Sagan, who inspired Katie and Tom and so many of us in appreciating and holding in wonder the great cosmos. And you'll recall his famous words, "We live on a pale blue dot." And we are all made of star stuff. We are made of dreams. Today we celebrate the marriage of Katie and Tom, days and years of joy and love on this, our earthly home. May they grow in love and devotion to one another today, tomorrow, and all the days of their lives. In times of need, may they offer each other strength, and in times of perplexity, counsel, in times of sorrow, comfort, and in times of joy, companionship. May Kate and Tom continue to serve their patients and their students with courage and patience and wisdom in this broken and hurting world. Their talents and their devotion are so desperately needed. And we know that they will continue to change and transform the lives of all the people they serve. And when it is their desire, may Katie and Tom be blessed with the gift and joy of children and the wisdom to raise and nurture them in the ways of goodness and in mercy. We bless and give thanks for families and friends who have loved and nurtured Katie and Tom, and we give thanks for being here to gather in this beautiful place among the lakes and the mountains on this day of joy and celebration. May this day and this gathering and these cherished too inspire us all to live in service and in devotion to each other and all who inhabit this fragile and precious planet on which we live. Recalling the words of Carl Sagan once again, we are travelers on this wide galaxy, on a boat of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Amen. Blessed be. Blessings upon you all.
And my name is Chuck, and Katie has invited me to do this reading. Because it is the nature of love to create, a marriage itself is something which has to be created so that together we become a new creature. To marry is the biggest risk in human relations that a person can take. If we commit ourselves to one person for life, this is not a rejection of freedom. Rather, it demands the courage to move into all the risks of freedom and the risk of love, which is permanent. Into that love which is not possession, but participation. I've done so well so far. I've done pretty well so far. It takes a lifetime to learn another person. When love is not possession, but participation, then it is part of that co-creation which is our human calling.
Katie and Tom now wish to affirm the vows of marriage that they made to each other at their ceremony in January. Accepting all the risings and settings of the sun, for all the days of bounty and the days you go without, in the foreknowledge of joy and pain, strength and weariness, direction and doubt, do you, Katie, take Tommy, your best and closest friend, to be your husband?
Yes.
And you, Tommy, take Katie, your best and closest friend, to be your wife?
Yes, I do.
Please consider the following from astrophysicist Neil Tyson. The most astounding fact is the knowledge of the atoms that comprise life on Earth, the atoms that make up the human body, are traceable to the crucibles that cooked the lighter elements into the heavier elements, in their cores under extreme temperature and pressure. These stars, the high-mass ones above them, eventually went unstable in their later years, collapsing and then exploding, scattering their enriched guts across the galaxy. Guts made of carbon, iron, oxygen, and all the fundamental ingredients of life itself. These ingredients then become part of gas clouds that condense, collapse, forming the next generation of solar systems. Stars with orbiting planets. Some of those planets now have the ingredients for life itself as well. So when we look up at the night sky, we know that yes, we are part of this universe. We are in this universe. But perhaps most importantly, the universe is in us. When we reflect on that fact, we can look up and be tempted to feel small because we're in such a big unit. Or we can feel big because our very atoms came from stars such as those. There's a level of connectivity, and that's really what we want in life, to feel connected, to feel relevant, to feel like we're participating in the goings on and activities around us. And that's precisely what we are, just by being alive. Family and friends, inasmuch as Katie and Tommy have grown in their knowledge and love of one another, because they have agreed in their desire to go forward in life together, seeking an ever richer and deepening relationship, and because they have pledged themselves to meet sorrow and joy as one family, let us rejoice as we recognize them now, and from this time forward, as wife and husband. Let us party now, enjoy and Thanksgiving. Take your chairs.
He's not kidding. Yeah, he is not kidding.
He wasn't kidding.